know me. We've been here before. I did not murder this woman. And after 14 hours of grilling me on Christmas Eve, what more could you possibly learn?
You think blowing smoke up my ass for... I know you killed Miss Agosia.
I didn't.
Tell me where the body is and I might be able to get you second degree.
Exactly.
You think you know what guilt looks like? A trembling suspect, a lie slipping through their voice. But what if the real manipulator isn't the one you're chasing? It's the one you've become? Los Angeles. 4 years ago, a case started that tore through our department. The suspect, a profiler turned killer. The victims, chosen for their resemblance to his own theories. And me, I was the detective who swore I'd stop him. Until I realized he wasn't running from me. He was leading me somewhere. My name is Evelyn Carter. And this is how a killer rewrote the mind of the person hunting him. In the city of Los Angeles, death has many faces. But this one felt different. It started on a Sunday morning. The sun had barely risen over the skyline when a call came through to the LAPD Homicide Division, a body discovered at the edge of Mulholland Drive. 2 detectives, Evelyn Cross and Marcus Holley, were assigned to the scene. Both seasoned investigators, both carrying their own share of ghosts. When Evelyn arrived, the smell of gasoline hung in the air. The ground was scorched, the body partially burned, but the staging was off. It was too perfect. Everything from the victim's watch to the scattered personal effects looked deliberately arranged, almost theatrical. Evelyn crouched down beside the charred remains, her gloved hand hovering over a single object that hadn't burned. A photograph, a woman, smiling. "Someone wanted us to see this," she said quietly. Marcus glanced over, his jaw tightening. "You think it's personal?" "No," she whispered. "I think it's a message." The investigation began like any other. Canvassing, forensics, interviews, but something about this case didn't sit right. The victim was identified as Daniel Price, a 34-year-old financial consultant with no criminal record. Clean background, stable job, ordinary life. But Evelyn noticed the first inconsistency within hours. Daniel's phone had been wiped remotely 2 hours before his death. No fingerprints, no signs of forced access. Someone had planned this. Someone who knew exactly how investigations worked. By the 3rd day, Evelyn was sleeping less, eating less, driven by something deeper than procedure. It wasn't just a murder anymore. It was a puzzle, and she needed to solve it. Her instincts told her that Daniel Price wasn't the only victim. Then came the second body. A woman, same age range, similar profile, found near the coast. No burn marks this time, but the same kind of staging. This time it was a man's photo. Smiling. "It's like they're mocking us," Marcus muttered. "No," Evelyn said. "They're teaching us." The department formed a task force, Operation Mirage. Analysts, digital forensics, and 2 behavioral profilers were added to assist. Every theory pointed toward a serial killer with a psychological motive, possibly revenge or guilt. But there was something else Evelyn couldn't shake. The killer wanted them to understand. Each scene contained breadcrumbs that led them forward, coordinates hidden in metadata, codes buried in emails, even handwritten notes quoting famous criminal psychologists. "Whoever this is," Evelyn said one night, "they want to be seen, but only when they choose to be." Weeks passed. The case became a storm. Media coverage exploded. People began calling the murderer the composer because of the way each crime scene looked like a performance. And with every new victim, the killer seemed to be one step ahead. Evelyn started noticing something disturbing. The killer's notes began referencing her directly. Not the police, her, Detective Cross. "Do you still believe in justice? How far would you go to understand me?" It wasn't just a taunt. It was intimacy. The killer was studying her cases, her life, even her therapy sessions, which she never spoke about publicly. Marcus urged her to step back. Eve, this isn't just another case. He's in your head. You need to rest. But Evelyn refused. She knew something others didn't, the handwriting from the killer's first note. It matched a file from a case 10 years ago. A case that was supposed to be closed. You think this is a copycat? Marcus asked. No, she said quietly. I think it's resurrection. The name she whispered that night would haunt her, Alan Crowe. A man she once arrested. A man declared dead 6 years ago. The revelation shook the task force. Alan Crowe was a known manipulator, a clinical sociopath with a fascination for detective psychology. He had once written a thesis titled The Illusion of Control in Criminal Investigation, and now it seemed he was proving his theory by controlling the investigators themselves. Every clue, every lead, every emotional response, he was pulling the strings. The question wasn't who the killer was anymore, Evelyn narrates softly. It was who he wanted us to become. As the city held its breath, Evelyn Cross and Marcus Hall began walking straight into the trap Alan had spent years designing. A psychological maze built not from walls or weapons, but from guilt, empathy, and manipulation. Because sometimes, the most dangerous killers aren't the ones who hide. They're the ones who teach you how to find them. In every investigation, there comes a moment when logic stops working and instinct starts to scream. That moment came 3 weeks into Operation Mirage. The task force had traced the last victim's cell tower pings to a vacant property in East LA, an old recording studio, long abandoned, windows sealed with plywood. When Evelyn and Marcus entered, dust floated like ash through a shaft of weak light. The walls were covered in soundproof foam, and in the center of the floor sat a single wooden chair facing a camera. A red LED blinked, recording. Evelyn pressed play. The screen flickered to life. Alan Crowe's voice filled the room, calm, measured, confident. Detective Cross, you always believe truth is hidden in evidence. But what if evidence is the lie? He laughed softly. You think you're hunting me, but every step you take was written in my notes years ago. Welcome to my experiment. The feed cut to static. Marcus slammed his fist against the console. He's still alive, he's playing us. Evelyn stared at the dark screen. No. He's testing us. Back at headquarters, the atmosphere shifted. Every lead they chased circled back to something trivial. A pawn shop receipt, a traffic cane glitch, an anonymous tip that led nowhere. Each time, Alan's presence lingered like a shadow. Psychological profiler Dr. Lena Rourke warned them, Crowe's strength isn't violence, it's suggestion. He infects doubt, makes you question your own reasoning. Soon the infection began. Small arguments broke out between detectives. Files went missing, statements conflicted. Even Evelyn's notes appeared altered. Small lines added in handwriting that looked eerily like her own. Marcus found her one night in the office, surrounded by photos, scribbling equations across a whiteboard. He wants to divide us, Marcus said quietly. Then we don't let him, Evelyn replied. We outthink him. But inside, she wasn't sure she still could. A week later, a new video surfaced on an encrypted drive delivered directly to the precinct. No fingerprints, no sender. The footage showed the last victim, alive, bound to the same wooden chair. Behind the camera, Alan's voice again. A mind can be broken more cleanly than a bone detective. Watch how I prove it. The victim spoke Evelyn's name before the screen went black. Public pressure exploded. News anchors questioned LAPD competence. Evelyn became the face of failure, every broadcast showing her photo beside the words. The composer returns. Internal Affairs ordered her temporary suspension. Marcus protested. She ignored him. Because the moment she saw that video, she noticed something no one else did, a reflection in the victim's eye. Backwards letters, Rivera Hotel. It was enough. Evelyn went alone. The Rivera had been closed for years, scheduled for demolition. The halls smelled of mold and silence. Her flashlight caught remnants of lives once lived: cigarette packs, torn curtains, a child's shoe. Room 214 was unlocked. Inside, another camera waited. On the wall, a phrase painted in red: "You're exactly where I wanted you." Then the door shut behind her. The lights cut out. Only the camera light remained, blinking red in the dark. Alan's voice filled the room again, closer this time, as if whispering through the vents. "You shouldn't have come alone, Detective Cross." Her pulse thundered. She drew her gun, turning slowly. "Show yourself." "I already have," he said. A screen flickered on, security footage from the precinct. Marcus was there, talking to a masked figure. The audio distorted, but Alan's laughter echoed. "He never knew I was in his house." Evelyn froze. If that footage was real, it meant Marcus had been compromised, or worse. The next sound she heard was a faint metallic click. She dove behind the bed as the small room erupted in smoke and fire. Not an explosion, just chaos. When the smoke cleared, the camera was gone. On the floor, written in soot, were 3 words: "Check your files." Back at headquarters, her computer was waiting, still logged in. In her personal case folder was a new subdirectory labeled Mirror. Inside, hundreds of videos, surveillance clips, interrogation recordings, even therapy sessions. All of them hers, every move, every conversation. "He's been watching me for years," she whispered. Marcus entered quietly. "Eve, what if this whole thing isn't about the victims?" "It's not," she said, eyes fixed on the screen. "It's about me. That night I realized the truth," Evelyn narrates. Alan Crowe wasn't chasing random victims. He was constructing a mirror, each crime a reflection of the detectives who believed they could control the story, and we were already inside his final composition.
Hey. Don't touch me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell. Just... listen.
Control. That's what every detective believes they have, until someone reminds them they never did. After the Rivera Hotel incident, Evelyn was placed on mandatory leave. The department said it was for her safety, but she knew the truth. They didn't trust her anymore. Alan had done his job well. Suspicion had infected the task force like a virus. Every detective looked over their shoulder. Every report double-checked, every word second-guessed. And through it all, Alan's message echoed in her mind. "Check your files." Evelyn spent nights in her apartment, blinds drawn, laptop glowing in the dark. Each file she opened revealed another violation, surveillance from her own life. Footage from grocery stores, gas stations, even her father's funeral. Alan had been recording her for years. She began to map it all out. Every folder labeled after a victim matched a point in her own timeline. The first murder, the same week she testified in Alan's trial. The second, the month she received her promotion. Each death was a chapter from her story. He wasn't just killing strangers, she realized. He was rewriting my past. The more she uncovered, the more she felt the lines blur between victim and investigator. Alan's notes, found embedded in her case files, began addressing her directly again. "You learned from me, didn't you, Evelyn? Every lie you told your suspects. You told yourself first, the truth is not found. It's built." She tried to fight the thoughts, but they wormed deeper each night. Was she chasing Alan, or was she completing his work? Marcus was still on active duty. He had been distant since the footage surfaced, but Evelyn didn't believe he was guilty, at least not of betrayal. He was guilty of something else, fear. He called her one night, his voice cracking over the line. "Eve, I found something in the evidence room." A box with your name on it. Inside that box were printed photos, stills from Alan's surveillance files, but something was off. In the background of several shots stood a man in a gray coat. "Same posture, same height, Marcus." "That's not possible," he whispered. He's editing me into them, but Evelyn wasn't sure anymore. Alan had blurred the boundaries of reality and memory. Even she couldn't tell what was real. A week later, a new murder hit the headlines. This time, there was no attempt to hide it. The victim was left right outside the precinct doors, under a security camera. Pinned to the body was a note, 4 words. "You missed your cue." Inside the victim's coat pocket was a USB drive. When they opened it, it contained a video montage, fragments of the investigation spliced together like a trailer. Each clip timed perfectly with orchestral music, and it ended with Evelyn's face, her voice whispering, "Sometimes justice isn't truth. It's performance." Internal Affairs reopened her psychological evaluation. They questioned her connection to Alan Crowe. Some even suggested she had been working with him. "He wants to isolate you," Marcus told her after one hearing. "That's how he wins." "Then I'll let him think he has," she replied. "That's how I win." Calm tone, narrator voiceover. To catch a manipulator, you have to let them believe they're still in control. So Evelyn created a plan, one Alan wouldn't see coming. She began feeding false data into her own case notes, small inconsistencies, deliberate misleads. She wanted to see if Alan would respond. Within 48 hours, he did. A new video appeared on her drive. "You disappoint me, detective. Lies don't suit you." But as he spoke, Evelyn noticed a reflection in the background of his video, a faint light flickering across a glass panel. She recognized it instantly. The same neon color from the precinct's evidence storage floor. Alan wasn't in hiding. He was inside. That night, Evelyn entered the station after hours. The halls were silent, empty. She moved carefully, no lights, only her flashlight beam cutting through darkness. When she reached the evidence floor, she stopped. A faint hum, like static, filled the air. And then she saw it, a camera. Hidden behind the ventilation grate, red light blinking. Plugged directly into the department's internal server, Alan Crowe wasn't hacking from outside. He had implanted himself into the system. Dozens of video feeds played across the monitors, every detective, every desk, every private conversation. Even her own apartment camera. He built his own surveillance network. Inside the LAPD, Evelyn recorded everything, uploaded it to a secure drive, and left without a word. By dawn, the footage would expose the corruption that allowed Alan to manipulate them from within. But she didn't expect what came next. Her apartment door was open. Her laptop was gone. And in its place on the table lay a note written in perfect cursive. "You finally understand the game, but you forgot who started it." By the time Evelyn realized what she was truly chasing, it wasn't a killer anymore. It was an idea. One that had already spread through everyone who thought they could find the truth. Alan Crowe didn't just manipulate detectives. He made them his disciples.
I'm on it, baby.
I gotta go set up a press conference. You coming?
Spotlight's more your thing.
Great to have you back.
After a grueling investigation, I'm happy to announce an arrest.
They say obsession is the shadow of purpose. But sometimes, when you follow that shadow too long, you forget which side of the light you stand on. The morning after her apartment was breached, Evelyn didn't call it in. She didn't file a report, didn't contact Marcus, didn't trust the department anymore. She just drove. Past the city, past the suburbs, into the hills north of Los Angeles, where cell signals die and people vanish. Alan's note haunted her every mile. You forgot who started it. Those words weren't just taunting her. They were pointing her somewhere. Soft wind ambience, faint static underlay. She remembered something from years ago. An abandoned psychiatric hospital just outside San Fernando. Crowe had been held there briefly during his competency evaluation. The record said he was transferred out after 3 weeks, but there were no files showing where he went next. When she arrived, the building stood like a tomb, vines crawling over shattered windows, walls stained by time. Her flashlight beam cut through the dust, revealing graffiti, broken chairs, and the faint echo of her own breathing. In the corner of the lobby, someone had carved words into the wall. Truth is a design. Her heart sank. She'd seen that phrase before. It was the title of Alan's first thesis before he became a criminal profiler. She descended into the basement where power cables still hummed faintly. It shouldn't have been possible. The facility had been shut down for years. Room by room, she followed the noise until she reached a metal door marked Observation Unit 3. Inside, monitors, computers, and a network of cameras displaying live feeds from all over Los Angeles. Alan Crow's surveillance network wasn't digital anymore. It was physical. Dozens of hard drives lined the walls like organs of a living machine, and at the center, a single chair, facing a projection of Evelyn's face. "He's been watching my reactions," she whispered, studying how I chase him. Then she heard it, a voice, distorted but unmistakable, coming through the speakers. "You shouldn't have come alone." Evelyn spun around. "No one. You've always misunderstood, Detective. I never ran from you. I built you." Video clips began flashing across the monitors. Every interrogation she'd ever conducted, every suspect she'd ever broken. Crow's voice overlaid them, narrating like a god dissecting his creation. "Your empathy was my experiment. Your rage, my result. You believed you were saving victims."
But that is my truth. And that is the only thing that matters to me. What?
You were practicing obedience. Slow building score, cinematic and dark. Evelyn felt her breath shorten. She wasn't looking for evidence anymore. She was inside a psychological maze built for her. Every detail, every word, calculated. On the desk lay a small drive labeled The Mirror Project. She inserted it into the main terminal. The screen lit up with a message. Project complete, subject EC, her name, her life, her casework. Every choice she'd made over the past 5 years had been part of Crow's long game. The manipulated weren't the victims, it was her. Voice cracks with emotion. "You didn't just destroy lives," she whispered. "You rewrote mine." A video feed switched on. Alan's face, live, calm, somewhere nearby. His eyes gleamed with eerie satisfaction. "You see it now," he said. "The truth isn't something you find. It's something you inherit. And you, Evelyn Carter, are my legacy." Thunder outside. Power flickers. She raised her gun at the monitor. Her hands trembled. He smiled. "Go ahead," he said. "Shoot the screen. It won't change who you are." She fired, once, twice, shattering the projection. Sparks erupted, lights went dark, but then silence. No alarms, no movement. Only one sound remained, the soft ticking of a small recording device beside her. It was still on. Still transmitting, still feeding somewhere. In that moment, Evelyn understood. Alan Crow never wanted freedom. He wanted permanence. By turning her into his mirror, he ensured that his influence would live on. Even if his body didn't. The next morning, the LAPD stormed the facility, but Alan was gone. The computers destroyed, the drives wiped clean. All they found was a handwritten note on the desk. "You finally solved the case. Welcome to the other side." Evelyn resigned 2 weeks later. Her official report listed Alan Crow as presumed deceased, but the night before she left Los Angeles, a new email arrived in her inbox. No sender, no subject. Just a single video clip, her own reflection on the day of her first interview with the department. She looked at the screen, and in the reflection behind her, Alan's silhouette smiled. "Manipulation doesn't end when the manipulator is gone," the narrator says softly. "Sometimes it just finds a new detective."